I'll just tell him I'll do Widow Mine so he like plays as best as he can. Because he is lower league than I am, but he is helping us out with this, so I do appreciate it. And we'll try and see. We'll see how it plays out. Ready? Are you feeling better? A bit, but I'm still kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway. Let's do it, gamers. I went through COVID. No, I don't have. No. I don't have the virus. I think I got gluten. I'm celiac. And I think I got gluten because the pain has been very similar to it. I don't know from what though, it's really weird.
What's going on?
But today we also ate meat from the new place that we bought, and I don't know if the meat's not good or what's happening, but yeah. Maybe I've, yeah, I don't know. Alright, boys, we're here not to talk about my meat, but to test video gaming changes, okay? The first one we're gonna test against FlickerWiz that offered to help me. Thank you, by the way, once again. We're going to test the Widow Mine. So for those that maybe haven't been here on Twitch when I was just reviewing the changes, or if you're watching on YouTube, if you haven't seen that video, the Widow Mines now, I almost didn't scout because of the series that I'm doing. The Widow Mines now will basically have the stealth once you get the armory. So you will not need to upgrade drilling claws anymore to give stealth to your Widow Mine. So once they shoot, you guys know they're visible now. After, you know, with this change, patch, whatever you want to call it, when Widow Mines shoot, they remain stealthed, but they don't upgrade, they don't burrow as fast as with drilling claws. So it's like a middle ground from what we used to have with the Widow Mines and I guess what we have currently in the game. This is like somewhere in between, I'm guessing, to help the Terran be able to harass Protoss more easily and make the Protoss kind of worry a little bit, and maybe even have to have the detection in order to prevent the harassment. So we'll see. There are some Protoss changes like Oracle Revelation costs 25. So maybe he'll use Oracles to defend my Widow Mines. I don't know. I think Oracle having Revelation costing 25 will obviously be a bit better, but it's not something you want to necessarily rely on because the Terran can always split the Widow Mines in, you know, a few different positions, and then you're not going to be able to revelate everything. But what I'm going to try to do is do a pretty standard build, except I'm going to just add armory at the end there. I do want to see what he's doing. Oh yeah, I forgot we were playing on NA. I was like, am I lagging? But it's just the NA delay. Okay, he went Twilight. He might cancel it, or he might just do a normal Blinkstalker opener. I'm not really sure. So again, I know it might be a little bit confusing. Now, if I put the Widow Mines and they explode, they will be like the opponent will be able to attack them, just like you can right now in the current game. After I build an armory, the Widow Mines should have that little red thing around them, and once they explode, they should remain stealthed, and the opponent will need an observer or revelation in order to see them. If this change does go through eventually, because right now it's, you know, in the patch notes, but sometimes they get changed and stuff. This can be a great way to open with mech in the future. Because you can open with this Widowmine harassment, and then you can just kind of transition into mech after that. So my armory is done, which means that now my Widowmines... Okay, so they do have the upgrade. So now when they shoot... Oh, he has an observer. Alright, so what this does is it will force the Protoss to... Obviously that Widowmine was massive. But it will force the Protoss to have observers. How many observers did he have? 2, and they're both in the main base. So instead of current game, and this might not be the biggest deal in a lot of people's eyes, but at the highest level, the first observer goes across the map, straight across the map, and then the second observer usually stays at home in case there's a Banshee, if they even make a second observer. So, can you time out this guy, MF Food? He's just complaining about StarCraft. Just give him a 10-day timeout. Think about what you've done. So at a highest level, this makes Protoss less YOLO. Like, it's like, oh, I don't need to worry about anything kind of thing. And from Terran point of view, you're investing into an armory super early, which, to be honest, for something like this, I think is worth. And we'll see how it plays out. Now, what I want to test is... Go back. Take command. Okay, what I want to test is what happens if the armory gets destroyed. That's a good question.
Add-on complete.
Wait. Why do these Widowmines not have... Wait, what? Why do these Widowmines not have the thing? It's a bug? Oh, probably. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna burrow this one, because this one clearly has it. And I'm going to destroy my armory. And then see if they lose this thing, or do I have it forever the moment I build the armory? Because I think that's kind of a big deal. Did they change animation for SCVs? I've never seen them drill like this.
You scared me.
Oh, they lose it! Uh-oh, so you lose this ability once you lose your armory. Let me try again. I'm gonna build it and see what happens. So you have to keep your armory. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into some weird-ass games eventually, whether in my stream or in pro games, where it's like a base race and Terran like has Widowmines everywhere, and then like Protoss snipes the armory, and then suddenly he can kill the Widowmines or something like that. I'm sure that will happen. Okay, armory is almost done, and all these should be getting the upgrade. And both the burrowed one and unburrowed one got their upgrade removed. 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, they don't burrow faster, they just have the... they're undetectable once they shoot. Now you can still get drilling claws, and it just makes the Widowmines burrow 3 times as fast. So again, if we destroy this... Dude, I swear, SCVs have... Look at their attack. I've never seen this. They're like drilling it. And again, they lose their stuff. Okay. Interesting. You still need armory for drilling claws, yes. Was the bug Widowmine because they were burrowed when you completed the armory? I don't think so. I think it's just a graphics bug, to be honest. I think it's just graphics bug. Let me see if Wanan is here, so I'll do one game with him as well. Let me see what map. So what I want to test is, I want to go Widowman drops, and I want him to go for Oracle opening. Okay, let's try. Let's try and see what we get, boys. You probably answered this. What was your impression of the changes? I just talked about it for an hour. We'll do this one game with the test. And obviously, guys, the test that I'm doing is just trying to see how the changes work. This is not like me being like, oh, it's balanced, it's imbalanced, it's broken, it's fine. It's just to change how the things work. I do think, again, you know, I'm not the greatest StarCraft II player, but I usually have in general, you know, good opinion on how things will play out in the future. And if this change does go through, I think it will allow Terran to have another like very, very deadly kind of opening against Protoss. And it will also kind of force the Protoss to be a bit more defensive at the highest level with their observer. That doesn't mean that it will be unstoppable or Terran's going to have a huge advantage. It's just a change, right? And at the end of the day, because I know there's always those people that are like, oh my god, now everyone's going to do that and it's GG, Protoss is just shit. You have to remember that Terran is also investing an armory into this, so it's not like you're paying nothing. So even though as a Protoss you're going to have to maybe make an extra observer, the Terran also has to invest an extra 100 gas and 150 minerals into this, so yeah. It's just a change, bro. Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, Protoss might have to pick, like, do I want to YOLO with one observer in my main base, or do I want to send one across the map straight away? When Protoss goes Stargate, maybe instead of opening one Oracle, they're going to have to open 2 Oracles in order to have one as a backup for Revelation. You know, there's a lot of small intricacies that can happen, and the thing I like about this is there's, like, a clear tell when Terran's going to do this, which is, if you're a Protoss and you see an armory, then that means there's going to be Widow Mines with that cloak.
Go ahead. What's going on?
The Grand Reaper.
What's going on? I'm listening. Be in the rear with the what's going on?
Yeah, Deft is coming across the map, or Stalker.
Additional supply depots required.
This is why I don't like doing gas burst builds, to be honest. Like, it's really awkward if you gotta build a bunker or something. Not a big fan of it because of it. And now I'm a little bit short on gas because my gas was taken a bit later. That's why I really prefer just good old barracks first. Hopefully I'm gonna have enough gas to build an armory, otherwise it's gonna be really awkward.
Not enough. Not enough minerals.
Yeah, 'cause I need 50 more gas.
Our SCV forces under attack.
What's going on?
So this is a trade where if a Protoss, he saw the armory here, right? So this is what I'm talking about. If a Protoss sees this, they should know that, you know, what's coming and what's possible and stuff like that. And it's gonna be like a possibility of counterplay because you will actually see it. So it's not just a given to you. That makes sense.
Loud and clear. Dropping off.
So I do want to split my Widow Mines.
Your forces are under attack.
But this is the great advantage for them, right? Because even if he comes with Revelation,
Life flight's here. Ready.
see, he does Revelation. Uh-oh.
Your forces are under attack.
What's going on?
Not enough minerals.
I mean, actually, 2 Oracles are cleaning this up quite easily. I mean, he's dealing with it a little potato.
Talk to me.
Good job,
Your forces are under attack.
But definitely if I just kept dropping non-stop, I don't know if 2 Oracles would be enough, to be honest, to defend this.
Your forces are under attack.
See, this has to be a graphics bug.
Go ahead.
Add-on complete.
Ready.
Not enough minerals.
Because look, it's showing this mine like it's visible.
By the number. Transformation system prime. SCV ready.
Complete. Command center upgrade.
You gonna get
Add-on complete. Add-on complete.
this better move on somewhere.
Well, hallelujah.
By the number, boys.
Now, talk to me.
Mineral field.
Fuck!
Not enough minerals.
Suck.
Banelings.
Research complete.
Boy.
Additional supply supplies required.
Gangway. It's go time.
Go on.
Armed and ready.
Not enough minerals. Additional supply. Your forces are under attack. Upgrade complete. Research. Not enough minerals.
Been waiting on
What about a probe?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Uh-oh, all your tech on one building?
Not enough. Additional supply requirements required. Additional supply requirements required. Additional supply.
I think honestly, 1 Oracle, if you travel across the map at a point where he harassed, right? When the Oracle arrives and he sees armory going up, if he just goes back, I think 1 Oracle is more than enough to... Oh, there, I have a Widowman here. one Oracle is more than enough to defend that first medevac, you can literally cast 4 Revelations. Now the thing is, which I forgot by the way, the cooldown is
Complete.
10 seconds between each Revelation. So even if you have Oracles, you're kind of screwed because you gotta wait 10 seconds between each Revelation. So you would need multiple Oracles if you're playing against this build. But it does make Oracles better, even better against Banshees to detect them.
Mineral field depleted.
Very, very interesting. What about the battery thing? Well, battery thing works against high amounts of damage, not against Widow Mines or Banshees. So that's something we're gonna have to test versus like all-in kind of plays instead of this. Yeah. Even if you have 2 Oracles, well, you can kill 2 Widow Mines, and then you have to wait 10 seconds and kill the other 2, which is fine. But 1 Oracle per full medevac of 4 Widow Mines is not enough. How long is the Widow Mine cooldown? I have no idea, like 30, 45 seconds? I have actually no idea. Wanna try PvP? Okay, let me see PvP. What did I want to change? Or test, sorry, not change. The shield battery, new shield battery overcharge, and then maybe next stream we can test the Zerg changes.